A car starting system is a crucial component that enables the engine to start and the vehicle to move. It works by converting electrical energy from the car's battery into mechanical energy to crank the engine, which begins the combustion process. Modern starting systems are more complex than early models, incorporating a variety of sensors and components to ensure efficient, reliable operation. This system can be broken down into several key components, each serving a unique function within the vehicle's overall operation. Key components of the car starting system. 1. Battery. The battery is the heart of the car's electrical system. It stores electrical energy in chemical form and provides the necessary voltage to power the starter motor, ignition system, and other electrical components when the car is being started. Typically, a 12-volt battery is used in most cars. When the ignition key is turned or the start button is pressed, the battery sends an electrical current to the starter motor to crank the engine. Over time, the battery loses charge, and if it drops below a certain voltage, it can fail to start the car. 2. Ignition switch. The ignition switch is the interface between the driver and the starting system. In traditional cars, the ignition switch is turned using a key, while in modern cars, it's often replaced by a push-button system. The ignition switch has multiple positions: off accessory to power things like the radio, and start to crank the engine. When the ignition switch is turned to the start position, it sends an electrical signal to the starter relay or solenoid, initiating the starting sequence. Starter motor. The starter motor is an electric motor that is responsible for physically turning the engine over so that it can begin the combustion process. It is usually located near the engine's flywheel. The starter motor engages with the engine's flywheel using a small gear called the pinion. Once the pinion engages the flywheel, the starter motor spins the engine fast enough for it to start. The starter motor only operates for a brief period when the engine is starting, after which it disengages. 4. Solenoid or starter relay. The solenoid or starter relay acts as an intermediary between the ignition switch and the starter motor. When the ignition switch is engaged, it sends a small electrical current to the solenoid, which then closes a larger circuit and allows current from the battery to flow to the starter motor. The solenoid also controls the movement of the starter motor's pinion gear, ensuring it engages with the flywheel properly. If the solenoid or starter relay fails, the starter motor won't receive the necessary power and the car won't start. Flywheel. The flywheel is a large, heavy wheel that is attached to the engine's crankshaft. It serves two purposes. First, it stores rotational energy that helps the engine maintain